Hi, this is Dumasect coming at you guys today with my new segment, Pokemon Flame War, where we take a look at Pokemon and have an internet pissing match. I'm joined today by my good friend Shat in the Hat. Shat, say hello and tell us who you'll be arguing on behalf of today.
Why, hello, good viewers. I'm going to be arguing on behalf of Sceptile today.
Also joining us is Reno-kun. Reno, say hello and tell us who you'll be arguing on behalf of today.
Hey, what's up? I'm Rikun. I'll be arguing on behalf of Torterra.
Today I'll be arguing on behalf of Serperior, and I'll be arguing that in fact Serperior is in fact the superior Pokemon in comparison to either Torterra or Sceptile. Serperior's second in speed only behind Sceptile, but holds up very well rounded with his defense and special defense in comparison. As well, Serperior can strengthen either of its defensive stats even more with Calm Mind and Coil respectively, which in turn will raise its attack and accuracy or its special attack and special defense. If that's not enough for bulking up your Serperior, he also has access to both Reflect and Light Screen, which will allow you to bulk him up even more. Also, Serperior has the same base value in its attack as well as its special attack, which doesn't limit it to either being a special attacker or a physical one. As long as a physical route is chosen, Serperior can be taught things like Iron Tail, Leaf Blade, Dragon Tail, Aerial Ace, and it can bolster all these with Swords Dance. Serperior can also learn Leech Seed and be bred to learn Synthesis, which will allow you access to 2 healing moves. Finally, Serperior's hidden ability is Contrary, which can be used to effectively turn Leaf Storm into one of the most overpowered moves in the game, allowing you to use a move with a base power of 130 that doubles in strength each time it's used.
Turtwig was my favorite of the starters in the Diamond and Platinum versions, and ended up being my number one guy for the majority of the game. So I'm going to start off by going over some of the base stats of Torterra. His HP is 95, which is far above Sceptile and Serperior. His attack and defense are 109 and 105, far above the others again. His special attack and special defense are 75 and 84 respectively, falling a bit short of the others, not to mention his speed at 56, which is way low, but hey, he's a turtle, what do you expect? His EV yield is 2 for attack and 1 for defense, making him a bit more of a physical attacker and defender. Being grass ground type has its pros and cons. On the plus side, can't be hurt by electricity at all and takes half damage from rock. And poison does normal instead of double. Where the downside is that ice attacks do 4 times as much damage, which is a brutal hit. Another advantage to being ground type in addition to the grass is that he's able to learn a lot wider range of moves. I'm a bit more of a physical attacker myself, using moves like Razor Leaf and Wood Hammer, Bite, and Crunch, but my favorite of them that he learns by leveling up is Earthquake. The downside, it can hurt your own partners in group battles, but can any non-flying Pokemon without Levitate, dealing massive damage across the board. Earth Power is another move with a chance of lowering the target's special defense while also having a power of 90. Attacks learned by breeding such as Stockpile, Spit Up, and Swallow turn a battle around quickly too. As far as moves learned by TM, he has a bit wider of a range thanks to being ground. Learn moves like Rock Tomb and Rock Polish, which is awesome because he's so slow. Stone Edge, Bulldoze, and Rock Slide. I just always thought he was a bit more of a tank than the other ones. Go Turtle Tank!
As I already stated earlier, I'm going to be arguing on behalf of Sceptile. As everyone else has already mentioned, my HP, as far as base stat total is concerned, is low. That's arguably the worst part about Sceptile, because honestly, his special defense isn't all that bad. His regular defense is meh. Obviously, he's not going to compete with Torterra, who, as he was so passionately stated, is a turtle tank. But we are going to focus mainly on his speed. It is at a staggering 120, far above Torterra, and it even surpasses Serperior, and as far as non-legendaries, it is quite high, meaning you're going to go first. So why don't we go ahead and take a look at what you're going to be going first with. Main ability is Overgrowth, which doesn't really affect too much, except for when you're going to go ahead and combine that with Giga Drain, which 1.5 times its normal strength, you're going to get a lot of HP back. So you don't really have to worry too much about dying because you're going to go first on the next move anyway. I would like to say that I picked Sceptile because He was one of the few of these action Pokemon that I used. So I kind of picked him because I always liked him, and in Ruby, I used him all the way up until to the Elite Four. I mean, it served me pretty damn well, and I definitely picked this Pokemon over any of the others.
While true that both Torterra and Sceptile have broader selection of moves than Serperior, I'll argue it also doesn't suffer the same drawbacks and shortcomings that they do. Torterra holds a 4 times weakness to Ice type and awful speed. While its special defense isn't bad by any means, it's not going to survive an Ice Beam from a fast water type. Also, considering just about every water type in the game can in fact learn Ice Beam, this would mean Torterra would essentially be useless against one of the main types you'd be using it against. And while Sceptile can dish out damage at a slightly better speed than Serperior, Serperior is going to be able to take hits far better than a Sceptile. Sceptile's attack isn't significantly better than Serperior's. And what good does getting a Sword Dance in do when your defense isn't good enough to take the first hit that comes your way? Also, unlike Serperior, Sceptile doesn't have any way to strengthen its defenses, leaving it in a constant vulnerable state, leaving it to entirely rely upon its speed, and hope it can OHKO whatever it's hitting.
Alright, I'm going to go ahead and start with Sceptile, who has pretty low stats all across the board, other than his speed and special attack, making him not do a whole lot of physical damage, and he's not able to take much of a hit. He doesn't seem to have a whole lot of moves he can really learn, but still a few more than Serperior. His hidden ability is pretty disappointing too, if you ask me. Raising speed only if you use an item that he's holding, and he also shares the weakness to poison that I despise. Other than being fast, he doesn't have a whole lot going for him, other than he looks cool, and he's got a Mega. Serperior has a decent move pool, and his stats aren't too bad, but his speed is his game, just like Sceptile, and also shares that weakness to poison that I just hate. You'll both beat me in speed, but theoretically, I should be able to more than make up for that with the damage that I can deal. Depending on what moves your Pokemon has, it would be a tough match for either to face Torterra holding a Quick Claw, letting him attack first, which was always my strategy since back in the day of Gold and Silver with Feraligatr. A couple Rock Slides or Stone Edges, mixed with moves like Rock Tomb and Sandstorm, should get the job done pretty fast. Torterra just seems to be a bit more of a tank, being able to take brutal hits, and thanks to his hidden ability Shell Armor, he doesn't have to worry about critical hits. Sceptile was my first starter I used in Sapphire, and he just didn't get the job for me. Eventually, he and Serperior both ended up just being HM whores using Flash, Cut, Strength, and Leech Seed.
While I will go ahead and agree with a lot of the other people out there that Sceptile, yes, if he's not going to go first, then he is absolutely going to lose the fight. He is totally reliant upon his speed and special attack to get him through a lot of sticky situations. However, his special defense isn't all too bad, leaving him pretty much only susceptible to physical type moves that are really mess up his day. And if you're going to do your typing right, it shouldn't really be too much of a problem to avoid. And as it has already been stated, Torterra with his 4-time weakness to ice, that's just going to really put a big dent in him, and he's not going to be able to tank through that no matter how much you're going to go ahead and try. And while I do think Serperior is probably very close to Sceptile, I don't personally like how he looks, and if you have to bolster his defenses, then why bother? Like, I don't really see the small advantage of HP being worth trying to go ahead and get defenses on top of that. I would just rather get a little bit more attack and gonna go ahead and just straight cut through it. That's just my style. Oh, by the way, did I mention he gets a Mega? Yeah, that's right. He's the only one that gets a Mega.
Well, guys, this has been Pokemon Flame War with Dumasect. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and until next time, watch out.
Use Rock Smash!